we've built the brand from 0 to 1. So I think that's a great start. But how do we go from 1 to 10, If you know me, I'm never satisfied with how things are going. I always want to go faster and do more. Just because the rest of the industry does things a certain way doesn't mean we're going to do it the same way. If it were that case, why did we start this company to begin with?
What can people expect from us in 2026?
It's going to be a very exciting year. We're cooking something.
This is the Sinclair C5, and when it released in 1985, it was touted to be the future of mobility. Now that hasn't quite happened, but since then it's become something of a cult classic to designers and is especially loved by our ID team, and also Carl. And a design classic like the C5 is fitting for a place like this because we're in the former office of a great London design studio called Heatherwick. And this is soon to be the new home of Nothing's London HQ. The team hasn't moved in just yet, so this place is basically Carl's personal office. Let's see if we can find him. Oh, there you are. That's my seat, actually.
Oh, okay.
You got time for a chat?
Yeah.
All right, Carl, welcome back. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
How did 2025 go?
I think it was a good year. We've announced early in 25 that we crossed $1 billion in sales, crossing $2 billion soon, raised $200 million, became a unicorn. We also now have 11,000 people from our community as investors. That I'm really excited about. I think we made some strides last year. The 3A series was received pretty well, and for the first time ever, we did a big event here in London with the Phone 3 and Headphone 1 launch. Both of these products were flagship products, a step up from everything we did before, but also the Headphone 1 was a new category for us. So we were quite anxious entering this space, but we're pretty happy that the Headphone 1 has performed very well so far, beyond our expectations. Also very surprising to see that we won the Time Innovation Award last year again for Headphone 1. First time we won it was with the Phone 1. And then finally Year 3 towards the end of the year last year, where we not only had a better quality product and more premium materials and better sound quality, but also started to really introducing our unique kind of take on these categories with the Super Mic. We also made some strides on the Essential suite of products with apps, search, with space. Early usage numbers are good, but I think we need to do a lot more. If you know me, I'm never satisfied with how things are going. I always want to go faster and do more. So hopefully this year can be another year of acceleration.
Were there any personal highlights over the last 12 months?
I think the Phone 3 event was really good. It was the first time where we brought together the entire community, the techies, the creatives, and just felt like very nothing-like event.
Yeah, I think the summer event was a big highlight for me as well. Just have that many familiar faces and friends of the brand in one space. It was pretty special. But that was last year. So what are the themes for this year?
Yeah, I think during that event, I mentioned that we're going from phase 1 to phase 2. With phase 1 was all about building the foundations, the core capabilities that we need to deliver the type of products that we make on a global scale. And phase 2 is about maturing, leveling up. For me, it's a lot about product innovation and our brand development.
And on brand development, what does that look like in terms of evolving and kind of establishing ourselves a bit more this year?
Yeah, first of all, I think we've done a okay job, not bad, to be where we are right now. I think we've built the brand from 0 to 1. We have a lot of fans across the world. We have a very active community. We have a very kind of engaged social following. So I think that's a great start. But how do we go from 1 to 10, One great piece of news is that we have a new chief brand officer in Charlie Smith, who used to be the chief marketing officer at Loewe. It just felt like a perfect fit, that he would be somebody that could take us from this 1 to 10 stage. Because what he did in his previous role at Loewe, where he was chief marketing officer, is very similar to the journey that we're about to embark on in the coming years. They really grew in the years that Charlie was there, and also tapped into the audience that we're targeting, the next generation. So it's going to be really exciting to see how we evolve, right? So staying true to who we are, not forgetting about our core users, but then also being able to attract more people into the Nothing brand.
And speaking of CBO, we have another CBO role in this company.
Yeah, the titles are getting complicated.
The board observer. I just want to take a moment to congrats Louis on being re-elected to represent the community this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to working with Louis again. Louis or Louis?
He doesn't mind, actually. He's weird. He doesn't mind which name we use. He's not weird.
Congrats, Louis. Looking forward to working with you, and hopefully together with Charlie, we level up the way we work together between our company and our community.
I also wanted to acknowledge the space we're in. We've talked a little bit about 2026, but where are we?
Yeah, this is our new office. We're still moving in, I guess. It's not finished, but we have 2 offices here in London. We have our design studio, which is a pretty nice space that feels very Nothing. And then for the rest of us, we sat in this kind of like WeWork/lawyer corporate-esque kind of office that just didn't feel brand. Yeah, we're very happy to be in this space. This used to be the studio of Thomas Heatherwick, a famous British architect and designer. A lot of these iconic things that we see all the time are from Heatherwick Studio, like the Vessel in New York or the new Google campus, or these chairs, or the new red London buses.
Yeah.
Azabudai Hills in Tokyo. Like, I've been to a lot of these places and seen a lot of these things, but then, I didn't know it was all came from the same place. He ran a campus style office environment where this was the main office and there were like satellites around, and our other design studio used to be one of his satellites. We were lucky enough to be introduced. He's like, hey, why don't you take our space? It feels very much us compared to where we are currently sitting.
So it's feeling pretty bare in here at the moment. Like, when do you think we'll actually be in?
I've heard that we're moving in within Q1.
Yeah.
So hopefully sooner than later.
You can just pop that there. Sorry. He can probably sign for that. Sorry, I don't have any bills.
Oh, thank you.
And speaking of real estate, we've been seeing on socials that there's a new store opening soon. What can you tell us about that?
So we had a store for a couple of years here in London, Soho, and it's going pretty well. It's profitable and we've learned how to run retail stores. So now it's time to expand. So we have our India store opening in Bangalore on the 14th of February. I'll be there. It'll be a very exciting launch moment. So hope to see a lot of our Indian community celebrate the launch together with us.
Yeah, I've seen some of the renders and like mock-ups of it. Looks really impressive. It's pretty massive compared to our...
We're leveling up because
Yeah.
we did the London store when we were, I don't know, a 2-year-old company, very early days. Now we've grown a lot as a business, and we've also kind of leveled up our creativity. So there's going to be some very fun experiences in the Bangalore store.
And aside from selling products, like, why is building owned spaces like this something important for us?
The brand is like a 360-degree experience, and every time you interact with a brand, it kind of helps shape the image of the brand, and having a store just allows us to have a kind of a 3D environment where people can really get to know us. When you just see us on the internet, you get a certain type of vibe, but a retail environment gives us so much more opportunity to show people who we are.
And if you look at how we just used the Soho store as well over the past few years for events, launches, meeting with our community, it's definitely a multi-purpose kind of space, isn't
Yeah,
it?
100%. And also beyond the India store, we're also in search for our perfect place in Tokyo and also in US.
Amazing. That's exciting. How do we decide which markets need a store? Like, what's the thought process?
It's vibes.
Vibes.
But no, like we ran some analysis. It's a balance between like where our users are currently, like where we're currently popular, but also where we want to go in the future.
Let's talk about products now. What can people expect from us in 2026?
It's going to be a very exciting year.
Carl, sorry, we got a call from you from marketing.
Oh. Hello? Oh, okay. Yeah. I won't say that. Okay. Yeah, I'll make sure to mention that. All right. Cheers. Love you too. Thanks.
Who was that?
It's product marketing.
Oh,
The headphone one was really successful. It won a lot of awards, and we tried something unique and it worked with the market. And this is an area we want to double down on this year.
awesome. That's good news for anyone waiting for over-ears, but what can you tell us about smartphones?
Well, the first thing is there's no new flagship this year. Phone 3 is our flagship for 2026.
No flagship launch this year.
Phone 3 is our flagship for this year.
Right.
Seriously? No phone 4?
You okay?
Yeah. The comment section is tough. Great. Thanks, dude.
Okay. So, no flagship this year.
Phone 3 is our flagship for this year. Since we launched the Phone 3, we upgraded Nothing OS to 4.0, and it's going to be a lot of improvements. But what I'm most excited about is Essential Apps, basically the ability for anybody with an idea to just tell the system what kind of app they want to see, and it just shows up. Like now everybody can be a developer and create apps and widgets. So it's currently in alpha. We're moving it to beta soon, and there's a huge wait list of users waiting to be let in. As we move from alpha to beta, a lot more people will be able to participate. And this will be a Phone 3 exclusive feature to begin with. And to reiterate, we're not just going to churn out a flagship phone every year just for the sake of it, to be on that schedule or calendar. We want every upgrade to feel significant. So that's a strategy we've had since the beginning. And just because the rest of the industry does things a certain way, doesn't mean we're going to do it the same way. If it were that case, why did we start this company to begin with?
Yeah, I think that all makes a lot of sense, but we are going to be releasing some smartphones this year, right?
Yeah, we're going to be focused on leveling up our A series with the 4A. It's our best-selling series, and we're really excited about taking this even closer to what a flagship experience is going to be across the board, from materials, design to the screen, camera, etc. Yeah, we're cooking something.
Yeah, I think a lot of people really appreciated things like, last year we had the Periscope in the 3A Pro. Incredible.
So 4A will be a complete evolution over its predecessor across the board, from display to camera to overall performance.
Awesome. That all sounds great. But I want to know if you can tell us anything about design.
Yeah, for those who have been paying attention on our products throughout the years, you can see a gradual evolution of our design. And I think the trick is to stay true to who we are. So every product is distinctively nothing, but also evolve the language as we go along to keep things fresh and to, over time, gradually appeal to a wider audience. So with the 4A series, that's what we've done. We can expect premium materials, bold new experimentation in terms of color, and the overall look and feel is going to be quite interesting. So I'm looking forward to see how the community reacts.
Yeah, sounds like there's going to be a lot of newness. And I think people grow quite fond of our designs over time. And when there's something new, I don't know, it can be...
I was thinking about it the other day, actually. When people see our new designs, it's always like, do I like this? But then it kind of grows on people and they like it. And I just saw a picture the other day of one of our users who've collected all our devices throughout the years. And even our earliest products, when you look at them today in 2026, it still looks kind of fresh. And that's what we wanted to do when we, went on this journey and started designing our products. We wanted to create products that could stand the test of time.
Next topic I wanted to chat to you about is, I'm seeing all this coverage about RAM. You've done a kind of big post about it online, which I saw got some coverage as well. I wonder if you can just kind of fill us in on what this is all about and what it means for our business as well.
I think there's no way to beat around the bush, but the RAM prices are increasing significantly. We've never seen this before, or I've never seen this before in like 20 years in the industry. You can't even predict what it's going to be next month or next week even sometimes. It's not a 50% increase. It's a couple 100% increase in fluctuation. So the reason to this change is because there's a lot of demand for RAM when it comes to AI. So it's an overall shift in the tech industry. It's going to have implications across consumer electronics. It's not just smartphones, it's any product that has RAM, so including laptops and other small gadgets. It's all going to really increase in price. So companies, they have two choices or two options of what to do. Either you just increase the price of the product because you still have to, run a company and try and be profitable, or you keep the price, but you reduce what's inside because the RAM has taken up more percentage-wise of the overall cost. So we're going to see a mix of that in the industry, and it's an industry trend. We're a part of this industry, so much like many other brands, we'll have to announce price increases across our smartphone portfolio as well, especially because we're upgrading our storage to UFS 3.1. But I think as a startup, it's easier to compete when there's a lot of change. That's where we can find opportunities and navigate quicker, for instance, through our software or through our design. So we've gotten really good at this over the years. So people are not buying us because we're the cheapest option with the best processor, with the best RAM. People are buying us for our unique take on this industry and our unique value that we bring to users. So now if the component prices are going to increase across the board for everybody, it's going to be really challenging for the companies who only focused on value for money, because now you don't have value for money anymore. Nobody has. And the companies that have a more differentiated product offering are going to have an easier time. So we believe that we're definitely in the latter category, and it's going to be exciting to validate that this year.
And what's your prediction in terms of when this bubble bursts? Is there going to be, say for example, we see a crash in RAM prices? What will be the kind of other outcomes of that situation?
It's hard to tell what the future is going to look like, but the next 2 years, 26, 27, H1, 28, I think the RAM prices are going to remain high. AI is going to continue to be something people invest in, but maybe some companies, specific companies, are a bit overvalued and they will see corrections, but the overall industry will still go up.
So I guess we can blame all those users that are turning images into videos and creating other slop online.
I mean, it does come from the AI companies and the industry, but I believe that the industry is ultimately beneficial to humanity. Of course, there's going to be slop and kind of a bit of scammers along the way.
Yeah, I thought I'd just, for anyone who missed this story, visually represent this trend. You can't expect companies to absorb that kind of increase.
It's tough, right? So probably not the best time to be upgrading your gaming PC.
No, definitely not. Yeah, I think people will really appreciate you kind of sharing your perspective on this. So that's it for today. So thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for watching, and tune into our channels because there's going to be some announcements soon.
All right, exciting stuff. Have you had a go in one of those, by the way? They say it's impossible to fall out of.
Yeah, it feels possible.